the year we won the national tournament, Jerry West with West Virginia.
Best player ever played against Jerry West.
Yeah, and when he came into the pros, I'd been there a year ahead, and I just worked him over good. He didn't know I'd slap him around.
You're a big guy.
He was scared to do anything about it. But you know, he jumped that high, so you couldn't block nobody could block his shot because he jumped so high. But we beat them. They beat us in our Christmas tournament, so we beat them the year that we went on to win the NCAA tournament. And then I was played with Guy Rogers and Will Chamberlain. I was a sub on that Philadelphia Warriors team because everybody on the team were from Philadelphia, and I was there now. And I'd go to the owner of the team, and I'd get these write-ups in the paper all the time. Why isn't Hatton playing more? So one time, Guy Rogers broke his jaw in a car accident, and I played 11 straight games before he got well, and we won every one of them. I averaged 16 points a game, and the game he came back, they lost. And I'd go to the owner, you don't deserve to own this team if you don't play anymore. He said, how everybody wants to see Philadelphia players. I halfway could understand that.
That still happens in Philadelphia, though. Too.
Yeah.
Players telling the owner they don't.
Anyway, we were playing Temple. We played them about every year, and to this day is still the longest game that UK's ever played. Three overtime, wow. And it was tied. It was tied at half, and Adrian Smith, the other guard on our team, Coach Rupp said, "Odie, see if you can make it from the center of the floor." And it didn't even get to the basket. So we tied going into the first overtime. And at the end of the first overtime, Guy Rogers made a jump shot and went 2 points ahead. We got the ball, we called a timeout with 1 second left on the clock. 1 second. Wow. And everybody, all I can remember, people leaving, trying to get to their car early and get out of there. And so,
at Memorial Coliseum.
At the Memorial Coliseum. And so with 1 second left, they called it, and then Coach Rupp said, "Odie," said, "you're going to have to try it again." And Harry Lancaster, the assistant coach, said, "Coach Rupp, why don't you let Hatton take it?" I heard him say that. I said, "Yeah, Coach, let me take it." And so with 1 second, they threw me the ball. I turned and just gave it a two-hand set shot. I got a picture of it up there, and show you, and it went right in the basket and tied the game up.
That's fantastic.
And so the next overtime was tied again. Then the third overtime, I got 6 points in the final. And
is that the picture?
yeah, well, that's not the shot, but this year's they do the
Wow.
the why, you know.
I was at that game.
Yeah, Jimmy and I were there.
Well, that's a picture of it right
We were sitting
there.
under the basket.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, that's the shot right there with the 1 second to go.
So when I went to work for Tubby, we used to play pickup games at lunch.
Yeah.
And every time I would go and find the star on the court and try and make it. I don't think I ever hit it once. And I had every lunch for about 2 years to try and do it. I didn't have a timer. It was.
Well, they put a new floor down in the Memorial Coliseum and called me and asked me if they could take that up, and they said they'd cut it out and frame it and present it to me at a game. And I got it. It weighs about 75 pounds.
It's not. I know from this floor. It ain't light.
They framed it and gave it to me.
Oh my, Elgin Baylor, Guy Rogers, Big O, Oscar Robertson. I guess you played with him in Cincinnati?
No, he was after me.
After?
Yeah, he came. But we had, when I played with Cincinnati Royals, we had more Boy Scout ushers in the stands than fans. A year later, when Big O came, they packed that gym every game.
I bet.
Yeah. So that, no kidding, we had about 50 Boy Scouts
That's
for
fun.
ushers.
And they all loved that, Vernon, you know they
but
did.
But they wasn't making any money, so they traded me. Guy Rogers had something, because he was trying to guard me when I made the 1 second shot.
Right.
He was running up and got a picture where he was trying to get to me. They thought we were going to throw it under the basket.
Right.
In fact, we almost had a movie they were going to make. Ed Beck, our center, raised quite a bit of money. They were going to make a movie of that game.
Oh.
But he was going to get, I was going to have to miss the shot, and he was going to tip it in.
Oh,
What kind of movie is that?
Well, I was going to go along with it.
He's the one that passed it to you.
No, not Krigler.
Oh, Krigler.
Yeah, passed it to me to the middle of the floor. But Ed was going to get in the movie. He was going to be one of the stars.
Right.
that's
So he
Hollywood.
wanted to tap it in, you know. And I said that'd be all right. It depends on how much money we get.
Right.
Changing
This
history,
is,
so
I'll
wasn't
never,
it?
this is just amazing.
Changing history.
This is amazing.
48 feet and 10 inches.
I just,
And you know that spot well, Jimmy, since every
I can
lunchtime
quote the
you
whole
were
radio
right there.
broadcast. Claude Sullivan, you know, this could be the most thrilling play of the season, you know. Used to call all the games. It's this old
Do you have that here in the store?
I don't. I wish I did. It's this old microphone
Sure.
from the 50s, and he actually went all the way up. He used to call Bengals games too, and Reds
Yeah.
games, and all the way up through the 1966 Glory Road game.
That's really
And I was
cool.
like, that's just history.
That is history. That is really history.
I'll tell you a story on Coach Rupp. We were down in New Orleans, and I was having stomach trouble, and laying in the bed, and Coach Rupp came and checked on me, and I said, I got a real bad stomach ache. He said, "You big baby, get dressed and get out there on the floor." Anyway, I did, and we won the Sugar Bowl tournament down in New Orleans. But when I got home, I had an emergency appendectomy,
Oh, wow.
and it was leaking and everything. And I lost about 30 pounds. I looked like a ghost when I went back home to
Oh,
practice.
gosh, you big baby.
Yeah, and but another time they came to me, some of my fans, and they said they were going to get a group together and after we won the tournament and buy me a car. And I, oh great, he said, we'll have to collect the money and we'll let you know how it's going. So I get some of my relatives send in $20 and this and that.
Sure.
And then they'd call me every month and say, "It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good." So in about 6 months, he called. He said, "Well, I have some good news and some bad news." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Well, the good news is we've raised enough money, and we're going to buy a Cadillac, and we're going to give it to Coach Rupp."
Oh,
So I know right where he lived, right.
Eastover.
Right off of Cooper, I forget the name.
Eastover.
Yeah,
Eastover.
Eastover.
Yeah.
I'd go by there hoping to find that light blue Cadillac. I was going to take a key. I never did find it, but I sure was.
Oh, Vernon, that wasn't fair, was it?
Well, that's okay. But another time, but on that same trip, and I had the stomach hurting. We had a knock on the door, and this real good-looking gal came and said, "Did y'all ring for a woman or a lady?" We said, "No, but we think room 335 right down the hall. That's where Coach Rupp and Harry Lancaster were." And they knocked on the door, and Harry opened the door, and they went in. And we heard, all of a sudden, we heard Adolph holler, "Get those women out of here! I'm a married man!" So I saw the women leave. We had our glass ready to listen to it through the wall.
I bet. Right up against it.
But anyway, we played quite a few. Harold Ross was from Hickman. He's the best man in my wedding. And he and I roomed together on trips. we pulled more tricks on Coach Rupp. They have this meeting, the pre-game meeting, and you don't smile, you don't laugh, you better be thinking about who you're going to guard. You better do a job with it. So we got this trick sugar from a store, and we snuck in there in the room before we got in, put it in Coach Rupp's coffee sugar bowl. And so everything was quiet, and Coach Rupp put a big spoon in his coffee, and then he put another one in there, and it started foaming up. He got about that high. He didn't have the nerve to do anything except look up. I hope you all are going to coach one of these days. then we're down in Florida, and Harold and I were walking around. We saw all this fruit outside this little store, and some pineapples. So we looked at each other. We knew what we were going to do. So we got a pineapple and cut the bottom off so it looked like it was freshly cut. And we walked up, and Coach Rupp was talking, sitting on the outside of the hotel, talking stories like he likes to do. And whoa, where'd y'all get that? Well, Coach, and all those players were with him, some of them. It's right around there, the big tree, you see it. And, come on, boys, let's go around there. And that night when he came, we found out they don't even raise pineapples in this part of Florida.
Oh.
So
they went on a wild goose chase looking for that pineapple tree.
But the big thing is a true story, and it's been told many times. He loved to find bobby pins. And sometimes we would get some girl with a loose hair to put some bobby pins in her hair and walk in front of Coach Rupp and the boys. When we were on a trip, and the bobby pins, she'd let it fall out on the sidewalk, and Coach Rupp would see it. Oh my God, this is just, we might not even have to take the floor. We've got a bobby pin. Well, he liked the bobby pin so much the night that we were going to play in the finals. We got every bobby pin in every store we could get. Made a big ball of bobby pins.
Because they bring good luck.
Well, yeah, that's what he thought.
Yeah.
And so we put them on the door as you go into it was Freedom Hall then. And we led Coach Rupp over, and he almost tripped over him. He said, my God, let's go back to the room. I think we've won this game already. We didn't know what was happening. We acted like we didn't know how they got there.
That's really
That
cute.
is so great.
That is really
That's a
cute.
true story. The bobby pins. And then Guy Rogers and I, we played a game in L.A. and we were walking downtown, and we heard this psst, psst, and so some guy led us in and said, come in here. We went in the store, it was closed, and he pulled out some jewelry. And he says, I can sell this to you pretty cheap. So we looked at each other. He probably stole it. And so I said, how much you got, Guy? Well, we got $54 together and bought it from him. Some earrings and a brooch and so on. And when we got it back up there and looked at it, the thing, the silver thing, was a gold thing was crossed out. It was 69 cents. That's all it cost. We paid $54.
It's a steal.
Wow.
It's not for you.
Steal, really,
It
Jimmy.
goes on and on. It's crazy.
That is unbelievable.
Well, you.
Engine number 9 running on Chicago line. If the engine jumped the track, will I get my money back? As I was going to Arkansas, I saw that could outsaw any saw I ever saw. If you ever see a saw that can outsaw the saw that I saw as I was going to Arkansas, I'd like to see your saw. I'm a big brown bug with a big brown bear, big brown bug with a big brown bear. The hammer goes up, the hammer goes down, the hammer goes up, the hammer goes down. How much wood would the woodchuck chuck if the woodchuck couldn't, woodchuck would? If the woodchuck couldn't, woodchuck would. No reason why he should. Well, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if the woodchuck could and woodchuck would? A flea and a fly were sitting on the flaw and the flue. Said the flea to the fly, let us fly through the flaw and the flue. A skunk sat on a stump. The stump thumped, the skunk stunk, and skunk thumped, the stump stunk. Oh my goodness. Betty bought a bit of butter, but she said, this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So Betty bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better. Theophilus thistle, the thistle sifter, sifter, the unsifted thistle. If Theophilus thistle, the thistle sifter, sifter, how much I got that and all mixed up. They said they want to see if I've got Alzheimer's when I can't get through it.
You always get through it.
How much? And then who would slit the sheets for the sheet slitter? Be careful with this. And who would slit the sheets for the sheet slitter if the sheet slitter was sick? If the sheet slitter was sick, who would slit the sheets for the sheet slitter? She sells seashells by the seashore. The Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers. Anybody pick a pack of packers? Maybe a pick a packer.
I think I just lost 20 pounds.